Ah, Episode 10, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 10. Fucking round of applause for me recording 10 whole episodes of this fucking shellac. Now, originally I had all this like tonal shit. I was in I'm still in a pretty good mood, but I got a notification and it was from this girl that I really liked, but I never dated, and it was her TikTok, and she viewed my profile, and I viewed her profile, and she's beautiful, and I love her to death, right? But, right, yeah, we just never got together, and now that time has eclipsed, and after that small reminiscence, I'm kind of bittersweet. So now here I am, episode 10 of the Evan Button Show, talking about minuscule breakups. But Gods be praised, right? I am not here to talk about breakups today. I'm here to talk about art. Finally, an art form that isn't music, kind of. So, one of my dear friends had watched the most recent episode of the Evan Button Show, episode 9, and heard that version of Cincinnati, and I think what I'm going to do in celebration of the 10th episode, I am going to take some of the recordings I have not yet on Spotify, and I am going to put them into a little EP, and I'm going to release them. I'm going to mix them, I'm going to release them. I'm going to do all of the versions. I'll probably record another couple songs, and so I want to say I have 3 demos on my channel that I don't have uploaded on Spotify. Um, the I think it's on South Cascade Drive or something. Um, it's something like that. And then like I have those 3 songs, and then I have Subject Verb Agreement, Remus. What else? Cincinnati and Crestfallen that I played yesterday. I will isolate those, and that's 7. So I'll record probably 3 more. Um, the goal is to try to record some of these songs that I've never recorded before, and hopefully show them a little bit of love and really try some things that are new. Record some of the newer songs, because I have finally come around and discovered that yeah, I do really, really enjoy the music I make now more than I used to make. Um, Not really a slight against the older songs, but yeah, I'm gonna talk about art, and I'm gonna be talking about, yeah, just like artworks. I wrote some sheet music today. The thumbnail for this video I already have set is going to be a piece of art I created. Otherwise, I would very much love to show these pieces of sheet music I've done. I've got 3 done. I've got 1919, which is going to be officially titled 1990 or not 90, 919, not 90. And because all of these, like, I have Luftkampf, which these all have like little subtitles too. So Luftkampf, which means dogfight in German, and Krieg am Himmel, which is war on the sky, in the sky, in the sky, right? Then I have Bis Tagesanbruch, which is until or by daybreak, so which is durch den Regen im Nacht, so that's through the rain in the night. And so yeah, I'm gonna have all 5 of the pieces of sheet music in German, and 1919 is going to have a spoken word section. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the instrumental, because I don't think I'm going to do the sheet music. Like, I don't think I'm going to put that behind 1919. Because it is a good idea in theory. Don't get it twisted. That is a really good idea in theory, but I don't know. I don't feel like it would fit, and I might just do like this a cappella, like not sing, just read it out, or I might do something like jazzy in the background, because these songs like uh Bis Bis Tagesam Bucht is like, it's this really convoluted piece of music. Like, there's a lot going on, but it's supposed to, it's a simulation of war in the nighttime, right? And then of course, Luftkampf is this. Yeah, it's supposed to be dogfight. You get shot down, right? And it's got this really not abrupt ending, but definitely it definitely settles in one place. What do I have written on Luftkampf's second page where the ending is? It says das Ende wie eine plötzlich Waffenstillstand, which is the end, like a sudden armistice. And I guess that kind of is what getting shot down as a pilot is. And I have all this stuff, like at the beginning. I have it all in German. The only reason I'm shaky speaking German right now is because I'm doing it in front of my microphone. That's literally my only problem. Yo puedo hablar español con así eficiencia otras personas en persona, pero cuando yo quiero recordar, is that the right word? Recordar? I think that might be a word. I think it also might not be. But cuando yo quiero recordar, no puedo hablar con eficiencia porque estoy nerviosa. No sé exactamente la palabra, pero mi español es yo solamente yo he solamente hablado español por 4 5 años. Yo trato hablar español de España, así necesito practicar mucho con otras personas en Latinoamérica y España no conozco muchas personas de España. So there's your little Spanish from me. There's my little shaky Spanish that is in front of, like, I'm not saying it's much better in person. I still am very scared, but yeah. So there's some linguistics for you. So was ich will zu sprechen Deutsche, was ich wünsche, ich möge wünsche mehr dann wollen. Ja, was ich wünsche zu sprechen Deutschen für eine Full Video. Ich Mexican. I don't know. Yeah, I would have to get some practice. I definitely do need to practice more because I know my grammar is a little shoddy in German. It's going to be shoddy in everything that isn't my native language, but yeah, it's more shoddy in German because I haven't had any formal training. But I do speak German more than I speak Spanish, so. But yeah, back to what I was talking about. Yeah, eventually all the songs that I have written, because I have 3, I have 2 more to do. I don't know what I think I want to do one, like it's supposed to be. I think what I want it to be is I want it to be like, dun dun, like the swaying of a boat, sinking dreadnought or something. I don't know what ships were sank during. I don't know exactly what ships were sank during the First World War. So I would probably have to look into that. Like in World War II, obviously, I know the Bismarck went down. I know the Musashi went down. I know the Yamato, excuse me. I think it's Gomenasai, or Gomenasai in Japanese for apologies. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, I think it's, yeah, I know those went down. I think, did the HMS Hood sink? It might have. I think the HMS Hood did sink at some point. I know the USS Arizona was lost during the Battle of Pearl Harbor. That's Pennsylvania class, by the way. Yeah, that's one of the only ways I remember that. Beautiful dreadnoughts are. I do like aircraft carriers, I do like heavy cruisers and whatnot, but battleships have to be my favorite flagships. I'm not a big battle cruiser guy, but I do like those Alaska classes, and I do like some of the German fast battleships, and I'm iffy on British battle cruisers. I like the Renown and the Repulse a lot. Um, and the Revenge, and was the HMS Vampire? Was the HMS Vampire a? I think it was a battle cruiser. I could be wrong though. Excuse me if I am. Um, I think the HMAS Canberra was also a battle cruiser. Maybe. I also could be completely wrong. There is always that as a possibility. But yeah, no, as it stands, yeah, I do want to get those 5 like pieces of sheet music written. The goal is to have it be 12 minutes. So like not quite 3 minutes a song, but writing 3 minutes of music for sheet music, it's very tedious if you want it to be really well written, right? And I'm not going to like claim that I'm a great like sheet music writer, but I want it to appeal to me. Like I don't want to just throw something together and just not have it work, or just like finish it just for the purpose of saying I finished it. But yeah, so that's on the agenda. Um, I do have some pieces of art made. I am not very good with drawing, so every piece of art I've made, it's been this like long-winded fucking exacerbating process, and it sucks. It really does suck sometimes, but like I can either be really happy with how they turn out or not, right? But I want to, obviously I write poetry, but I think poetry is really stupid sometimes. I want to write a book sometime in my life, but I don't know. I want to live more before I write a book, because I don't want to write a book on my life so far as it stands, because like I mean, yeah, I've grown up like not having a lot of money, but my life hasn't been bad. Like I've been very fortunate with my luck of the draw. Of course, I don't always have perfect luck, so like bad things do happen, but they pale in comparison to the evils of this world. And like I've hit it pretty well, like with the whole winning the lottery on the making good decisions. I have past me to thank for that. Like I'm not addicted to drugs. I don't drink. I don't do any of that shit. So like I don't party or anything. I live a pretty mundane life. And when it comes to writing stories about other things, like I already do that with songs. So to write a book about something, I don't know. I think I would want it to be like an epistolary formatted thing, like through the perspective of a German soldier during the First World War. I know I'm talking about the First World War in Germany a lot during the First World War, but like I don't know. I have this like super Germanophilia going on right now. It's pretty gnarly. I mean, obviously I've been a quote unquote Germanophile my entire life. I mean, I love German and I love German cultures. And when I say German cultures, that encompasses literally everything. Like I would learn Danish, but Danish is a very hard language to learn. I'll probably never learn Danish or Icelandic. And I mean, obviously, I'd say I'm pretty good at speaking Swedish. Like, yeah, I that is one I would need to practice. German and or not German, Swedish and Dutch are like the two things that stick out like sore thumbs when I like go into it after a while, because I don't really speak Swedish or Dutch very often. And like when it comes to all these languages, of course I can read and write better than I can like hear and understand. So it's like it is a pillar of struggle, just this big obelisk of fiery mistakes erected in the name of my linguistic inexperience with the Dutch language. And like yeah, it's something. Yeah, the Dutch language is definitely something. It is something that exists. And like I hear West Frisian is really similar to English, but I haven't heard anybody speak West Frisian. And of course the grammar and shit is really similar. Duh. Like, obviously, I can read all that stuff because I can read German pretty efficiently. Like, if you stuck a newspaper, of course, there's words I wouldn't recognize. Like, yeah, it's true of pretty much anything. Like, when you're learning a language, obviously, you would need to integrate me into this environment and get me familiar with all these words for me to have an efficient understanding of the German language more so than I have now, because all I get now is I read Wikipedia articles, I read any number of things, and like I do a lot of guesswork when I read Wikipedia articles. Otherwise, I would be like translating word for word because I do doubt myself, and so excuse me. Sometimes I do need translation assistance. I do have a German dictionary that I do consult to more than I use like Google Translate or something. It's nothing against Google Translate. I think Google Translate's a wonderful tool, but like it's the little things. Like if you look up time in German, you'll get Zeit, right? And but to say something happened 3 times, Spanish is the same way. You look up time in Spanish, you get tiempo, right? But like passing occurrences as time in German, it's mal. So like drei Male or drei Mals, yeah, whatever, right? I think it's drei Male, like 3 times, right? Three three times that something has happened, right? And then tres veces, right? Those are the things that like translators don't tell you, and translators don't tell you like adjective and then noun order. So like my Spanish teacher always put it best in the Romance language. It's the cat black, not the black cat, right? So you say gato negro or yeah, gato negro, and like you don't get that like through translators. Translators don't really hammer that through unless you like see patterns and stuff. Like um like with Russian, like I noticed after I took Spanish and I started learning German that I noticed that Russian had reflexive verbs without learning that the verbs were reflexive at all. So like to say you love someone, it's ya люблю тебя, right? And tebia is the and it's t tebia is the reflexive form of t. And I think menya, I think it's menya or something like that for me. I don't speak Russian, but yeah, so those things you do pick up on after like learning languages for however amount of time. And thank God I learned languages that are all relatively similar, because like if I tried to learn something like I don't know Vietnamese right now, like I would suffer because I'm so used to everything. Like obviously I have to make the little discrepancies, like uh keeping the e at the end of the infinitives, unless of course you're conjugating like conditional or something in Italian. Like I'm not used to that. And then French's verb endings are just weird. Um, yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Then like all the little things, yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? And then all the different like letters and how you say them and whatnot. Like, of course you got to remember that like, huh is je in Portuguese and French, like that H sound, that J, the letter J there. Um, yeah, so it's always remembering those little things that really, like, it's annoying. Yeah, I've talked about languages a lot longer than I've wanted to in this video. What a pain in the ass I am, right? I'm also gonna try to keep this short, even though it's a special, like, 10th episode, whatever. My last 2 episodes were pretty long, but, yeah. So, yeah, I want to write a book sometime in my lifetime. I don't know if I'll do it in English or German. The goal of my life is to have like some sort of major creation. Like I'm gonna build myself a website at some point. I'm probably gonna take all of my music off of streaming services and I'm gonna create a Dropbox. I'm gonna create this concise Dropbox where you can or where people can have whatever they want for free. Um, The only thing I worry about is getting like material stolen and whatnot and not getting credited. I don't want any money for my music, but however, like I obviously do want credit if I write something, because like I don't know. Does that make me selfish if I want credit for writing something? I don't know, but that's just how I see it. If that makes me inherently bad, then I'm sorry. Like if someone were to use something I wrote in one of their songs, I doubt I would want any like financial reimbursement unless this person was making like buku bucks, and even then that would be completely optional. Like if someone wanted me to like produce an album or something, I'd be more than happy to do that. I would dump like tons of spare time into producing an album. I love production. I love music technology and I love all that stuff. So I would be more than happy to do that with very little financial reimbursement, but like if you're making buku bucks and I'm doing a lot of sound engineering, I think it would be the right thing to do to slide however much like I don't know what producers get paid, but I would never just do it solely for the money. I'd like if the time and the climate was right for me to make money off of doing something music related, I think I would jump on it, but I don't know. That's a slippery slope because then you begin to do things for the sole purpose of money. So if I were to ever do something like that, then I probably would just completely keep it recreational because I don't ever want to lose my love for music. It's like languages. Like obviously the plan is to teach English as a second language, but like I don't know if that would ever shoot my ambition for languages in the head because I love language, man. Like I love all the nitty-gritty things and I love noticing like things. I love noticing like all the small things. Sorry, I love Blink 182. Oh shit, it's Sunday. The Sundays reference, Cranberries reference, Sunday. There's a lot more references I can make in music for Sunday. The Sundays I don't really listen to them. Whatever. Sorry, I'm rambling. Whatever, right? But yeah, so that's music. Um, I want to write comics. I would love to get I would love to get a comic book published at some point. I love comic books. I've loved comic books for a long time, and ever since watching like Creepshow, or yeah, ever since watching like Creepshow or Kevin Smith movies, and of course I've seen a lot of superhero movies in my lifetime. It's like it's the time I grew up where they were super popular, and of course Stan Lee, rest in peace, is no longer with us, and like those things drive me to why Stan Lee's death would motivate me to write comics is um I really like his charm, him being in these movies, and like Mallrats for example. He's in Mallrats, and like Stanley, seeing him alive and like seeing him in all the movies that he shows up in brings a tear to my eye. I know a lot of those movies get a lot of shit, and I know those Transformers comics, and then those like the Transformers got adapted into a television series, and then you know or you know the Hasbro figurines got adapted into comics or the TV show, and then there was a movie in 1986. Yeah, I think it was 1986. But and then there's yeah, and then there's the Bayformers movies, and people say all these things about superhero movies, but like those I like those movies. I'm not ashamed to like sit here and be like, yeah, no matter the quality of the writing or the quality of the plot or whatever, I don't need to be hypercritical of everything all the time. And I like seeing Tony Stark, dude. Tony Stark is like Optimus Prime in a lot of ways. Like Crossfire says in Age of Extinction, he says, "Oh, every time he talks, you just want to die for him," or something like that. And like that's so true. Every time I hear Optimus Prime speak, I'm like, God, if fucking Peter Cullen, if the United States military took Peter Cullen and had him record like recruitment videos. I would join the military like yesterday, dude. Calling all Autobots. Like, if I heard that, dude, I would be like first in line in the fucking ROTC, dude. I would shave my head before I got there. But oh my god, yeah. So that's that's just that. So I love those movies and I love comic books. I'd love to get a comic book written. I'd probably do some like political commentary or something like that. Something that doesn't have a lot of teeth. Something I can build this world around. I was writing one for a while. It's I can't remember what I called it, but the character lived in a place called Jamchesko, which is a bastardization of the Polish word for castle, I believe. So yeah, I wanted it to be really Eastern European themed. I think I was like watching The Witcher or something at the time, and like, of course, it's writ like around the same place, but yeah, I was just watching The Witcher, and I was I was playing the Elder Scrolls, or I was playing Skyrim in particular. So like just the two ideas kind of like molded into my head, and of course the whole political ideology like thing came into it with like thinking about authoritarianism, and I was reading something on Pol Pot and like what like Cambodia was like before the purges there, and like I was like, what if I can make this like utopian Rome place with an Eastern European background and like create this multi-ethnic like empire and have the main city be like this fucking Tokyo, like be like a medieval Tokyo, right? Or like Shanghai or something. Not with the Asian architecture because that wouldn't make sense, but I'm talking about sheer like just grandiosity, or like New York. Like if I could put that all together, I just like I don't know why I stopped. Like I got really into writing it for the first time, and then like I tried to write again, and like the tap wouldn't flow. So I was also writing it like in paragraphs instead of doing it in comic format. That was a mistake. Yeah, next time I think I might do like I don't know how comic books are made, but I can't. I'm really bad at like that kind of art style, so I'd probably pair up with someone, do the story and whatnot, and probably get that put together and do it like create it with a different mindset and go into it like I'm making a comic, not writing a book or not writing a novella. So yeah, there's that. Comic books, writing an actual book itself. Obviously, that website idea, it's gonna be like music. It's gonna have my music, but I want to have like all my works on there, like Evan Stevens Hall, like concocted Amperland perfectly. And Amperland is where I get a lot of inspiration for like the whole website idea, because like it really is just like this selfless thing he did, making Amperland and making this like beautiful website with it's got this geeky aesthetic, and it's really cool. Amperland and Evan Stevens Hall, for those of you that don't know, if you're hearing this and you're from the outer reaches of the internet, if you're disconnected from Starfleet, Evan Stevens Hall is the lead singer of a country gaze band, Pine Grove, and Amperland is this like beautiful website he concocted. I think like it's mostly got content for everything so far. It's got merch, it's got all this cool shit, right? Like I want to do that. Like I want to have like I want to have that. I want to have all my music available. I want to have all these recordings. I want to have something that has my YouTube channel. It has all my social links. Um, I somewhere I could like post fucking podcast episodes and not be like reliant on YouTube. Not shitting on YouTube or anything, of course, but like if I make my own website, I don't have to worry about it going down unless I, miscalculate. Whereas I always have to worry about YouTube going down because, I have MusicBot on there, and like same thing for Xbox. Like if Xbox goes down, like I have like thousands of dollars in money, or maybe not thousands, probably like upwards to $1,000 in video games and shit, and all the DLC and whatnot. So that's always a worry of mine. But if I make my own website, then I don't have to worry about that. So yeah, I mean, I'd be able to do any amount of things. Like I could have a store to the comic I write or something like that. I also like big dream of mine. I want to make a movie. Um there's like I think there's a movie called U-252 or something. And like it's literally the idea for the movie I had. It was about a German submarine, and then I realized the movie existed, and I'm like, well, fuck you then. But yeah, I don't know. I want to make a movie about like any sort of idea that I have. I really did like the German U-boat idea, but fucking people and their creativity. So, yeah. I mean, in watching Christopher Nolan's war-based movies, it's phenomenal, and it's like, well, damn, I hope I can make something that good. But yeah, so making a movie is also on the list, but that's farther down the line. It's kind of like in the same thing as the boat, or not the boat, the book, the boat. It's in the same thing as the book, where like I want to live a little more, actually experience life. Like after I graduate college, I'll probably like write the script and everything. And like if I make a movie, if I'm making a movie, obviously I'm not gonna star in it. I am terrible at remembering lines. I can't even remember fucking whether the plural of mall has er or s at the end for the German word. So yeah, like doing a whole movie in German would be a completely new monster that I would love to take up on my own, but I don't have the voice, I don't have the face, I don't have the body, and I don't have the motivation to stop being a fat ass sitting in my fucking room writing sheet music, eating black licorice drops, right? Like that's who I am. I'm the guy. I sit in my room and I write music all day, and like every now and again I'll go out and play basketball. Uh, Evan Button jump shot is off the fucking charts, by the way. I'm gonna record that one of these days, because if I say that now, like it's gonna be infinitely doubted until the day I die. So I need to like get video proof that I have like a lethal jumper, right? I also need to work on it like a lot, but yeah. So I'm not an actor, but if I'm making a movie, I'm doing the score. I'm doing the directing. Um, things are gonna be done the way I want to do them. Like if I did a movie like All Quiet on the Western Front, the big problem I have with All Quiet on the Western Front is like these German soldiers don't feel like German. They don't like. Yeah, they have German names like Tieta, or whatever. Like they have these German names, but they don't feel German because they speak English. And the thing I love about the All Quiet on the Western Front remake that they did for Netflix, probably one of my favorite movies of all time, is like it is a fucking serious movie. It beautifully showcases the horrors of war. If I could like buy that version, son of a bitch, you would have me run in my pockets. It's like when Oppenheimer came to, was available to buy. You know damn well I scarfed up the $30 for UHD for Oppenheimer. Are you fucking nuts? I was not going to miss out on an opportunity to buy one of it, in my opinion, one of the greatest movies I've ever seen in my lifetime. And call it me dick riding Cillian Murphy or Christopher Nolan or war movies, or call it me dick riding any amount of things. It's like The Aviator. Oh my god, I fucking dick ride The Aviator too. That movie's fucking astonishing. But, like, you can call it me glazing. Horrible word. You can call it me glazing these things, but, like, to me, these movies are fantastic. I watched Interstellar, I watched Interstellar, like, recently, like, within the past fortnight. And, like, that movie shook me. That movie is astonishing. Now, I'm on my hands and knees for Christopher Nolan right now. There are dicks everywhere. I'm getting a little crazy with it, but that movie was fucking incredible. Like, Interstellar, like, shot into my top 10. Like, so I don't even know what I'd say my top 10 are. It would probably be, like, Detachment, Good Will Hunting, no particular order. Detachment, Good Will Hunting, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, Oppenheimer, Dunkirk, Interstellar. Probably Jurassic Park. Probably. And then, yeah, The Pianist. Oh, I got a lot of... I forgot. Yeah. I watched The Pianist not too long ago, and I forgot it was a Roman Polanski film. Probably Full Metal Jacket. Maybe not, though. Did I say Dunkirk already? If I didn't say Dunkirk, then Dunkirk. But if I did say Dunkirk, then... Man, I'm really mulling over all these great movies I've seen. Probably The Prestige. Honest to God. The Prestige or, like, Pulp Fiction. I don't know. Pulp Fiction is kind of all over the place. Like, in a good way, but, like, I don't know. I feel like Inglourious Bastards is super, like, it's way more coherent compared to Pulp Fiction. You could probably put any Tarantino movie within my, like, top 50. Right. Well, obviously my top 50, I would have to mull it over. I would have to, like, think about movies I've seen. Because, like, my stepfather and I were talking. He's like, what movies have you seen? And, like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, he's a lot older than me, but it's true. Like, I have a lot of movies I do want to see. And, like, I do have this long list of movies I want to buy and get. Like, I think the oh shit, now I look at this list here. I whipped out the list here. And, like, I see all these movies that I really like, and it's like, wow, a lot of these could be in my top 10. Like, Fury, Brothers, Jarhead, Donnie Darko. I really like Donnie Darko. Now, I'm not saying all these would be in my top 10, but these movies are really great. Like, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Dude, I love the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Call me Pennsylvanian or whatever, but yeah. I watched The Lost Highway recently with my father. That movie's fucking incredible. I see Robert Blake's face in my dreams or nightmares or both. But yeah, no, I've seen a lot of pretty great movies, and yeah, I'm glad that I was introduced to movie culture. I'd probably put Clerks in my top 10 too. Fuck. See, now that I'm thinking about it. But yeah, there are people that would be like, "Oh, wait, you put Clerks in your top 10?" It's like, all right, dude. But whatever, right? So that's the movie spiel. I don't know what I'd write a movie about. I wouldn't do it about dinosaurs. I'd want to use practical effects. Like, I love dinosaurs and everything, but I don't know if I could, like, do a dinosaur movie justice or not have it. Like, I'd want to make something that, like, stands the test of time. Like obviously Jurassic Park 3's biggest issue, or one of the bigger issues, is that Spinosaurus doesn't stand the test of time, because the Spinosaurus, they're always bringing up new things about it, and there's all this discourse. There's discourse involving a lot of dinosaurs, so it would be really hard to make a super accurate movie about stuff like that. I like biopics. I mean, I probably could. Do people say biopic or biopic? Whatever. Like, I feel like I could do one on, like, Kaiser Wilhelm II, right? Or, like, Otto von Bismarck. but I don't know. I don't want to overdo the whole Germanicism thing, you know. But then again, like, that'd be super up my alley, man. Good old Otto von Bismarck. But yeah, and in terms of creation, I'm still gonna be creating music and whatnot. I haven't been recording recently, but I'm still playing every single day. I'm kind of giving recording a break because I'm so backed up with content that I'm recording for March. So yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like, I'm in the middle of summer. I don't want to be releasing albums in January talking about the sun is shining in the sky, right? Not that I write music like that, but oh, anything else I want to create? Anything else I want to do? Like, obviously, like, being a big creator as I am, like, I would love to, like, do things like build a game engine, or like build an app, or like build a house, you know, do some like crazy architecture shit. Like, you hand me like $15 million right now, and I'll build I'd love to build a house exactly to my specifications. But realistically thinking, like, writing a movie, writing a book, writing comics, making a website, those things are all like things I already can kind of do. Obviously, it's easier to say you can write a movie than to be like, yeah, I wrote a movie, because, you know, writing a movie is a monumental task, right? And fucking making a movie is an even more monumental task. Um, yeah, so there's always that, but those things are within my scope. If I do ever get the opportunity to do some like super big creation shit, or like I get like, I don't know, an opportunity to make websites for people for buku bucks or whatever, right? I'd be more than thrilled to do that. Like, if someone was like, hey, we don't need you to get like the certification in HTML, you want to come with us and like code websites, I'd be like, hell yeah, dude. I'd be thrilled to do stuff like that, because coding is one of my passions, man. Like, I know I don't talk about it a lot, but I love HTML. I love putting websites together, and like, that's something I want to do. Like, talking about making websites just makes me want to it just makes me want to do more coding. And like, when I make this website, I'm just mostly waiting for resources and thinking of like domains I would like to put together, and just like making sure I can do everything how I want to, because if you're broke and you're trying to make a website, you're going to fall flat. You're going to be stuck with that Google Sites domain, and no one's ever going to see your shit. And I don't really care if anybody sees my shit, but the last thing I want is to have something like Google's name strapped onto one of my websites, when in reality I could be doing it all myself, and, you know, I could make this wonderful thing that I had this great attachment to because I work hard on it, you know. And I do use websites like Google Sites, yeah. I do use websites like Squarespace and stuff like that, and GoDaddy, and Weebly. I think Weebly's another one. Like, I do like looking at those websites because they do fast track a lot of that stuff, and it does help to have that fast tracking. Like, obviously I can put a button together. I know how to make like a button command. I know how to use the anchor command. I know how to use the image command. I know how to use all these commands. The big thing is making sure you get your CSS styles attachments to make sure your website looks the best it possibly can, and like just making sure everything flows well. And there are things in HTML that are pretty hard to do. I haven't quite gotten how to make like a sidebar yet. That's what I wanted to do for the school project I was talking about, where like you scroll down, and like the cursor on the sidebar follows where you are in the geological time frame. Like, that was my idea, but that is some pretty advanced like website navigation stuff, and stuff I would probably have to do a little more research into. Um, So here's hoping to God I can make a really good website, or not even like a really good website, but I can make a website that services what I want it to. And I am not big on aesthetics, but I want it to be a reflection of me and my artistic character. But as it stands, this is the Evan Button Show, the 10th episode. This episode is a lot longer than I wanted it to be, but I'm glad. So, I'll put out something I'll probably talk about in the next episode. This is day 3, so 3 in a row, 3 days in a row I've recorded an episode. I'm gonna get this one out here, and probably next episode I'm gonna talk about that EP I'm gonna be putting out, and I'll talk about the songs that I've written for them. I'm not gonna sit down with a pen and paper and try to write the songs I used to. Like that ideas that I don't. No thanks, right? But yeah, so look forward to that if you like my music. If not, just look forward to more videos and whatnot. Who knows? I want to talk about things I don't like at some point, but on the other hand, I don't like being a negative person. I don't want to spread negativity. Why would I talk about things I don't like when I can talk about things I do like, right? It sours me to talk about things I don't like. I don't want to be sour when I'm recording a YouTube video that someone could potentially listen to, right? So, we'll see where that comes from. But, as for now, this is Evan signing out. Peace. Thanks for listening. Bye.